Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of my office renovation and the big reveal. Before I get started with today's video, I want to thank Cricut for being today's sponsor. I am just so excited to be working with Cricut because I love my Cricut and I've used it for so many different projects in my apartment. I have been sharing some of my Cricut projects with you guys on TikTok, and every single time that I do, I get so many questions in the comments about it. So in today's video, I want to address the most common question that I get, which is, what is a Cricut and what does it do? A Cricut is a cutting plotter that can cut so many different materials, and it can also write on things, which is really cool. The Cricut that I have is called the Explore Air 2, and I have been using it on so many different projects in my apartment. I am definitely obsessed. You can use a Cricut to make so many different things like iron-ons, custom cards, custom gifts, custom clothing, home decor, decals. The list can go on forever, really. The Cricut can cut so many different materials. It's very versatile. Here are a bunch of the materials that it can cut, some of my favorites at least. The list is endless. I love my Cricut because, if you can't tell, I really like to DIY and personalize things. So having a machine that I can use to explore different ideas that I have and also try to come up with new ways to use the machine that I haven't seen anyone else do is something that I love. I've made so many different decor items for my apartment with my Cricut, one of which being the iron-on pillowcase that I made. It totally makes my entire living room. I also made an abstract art piece with some typography. I made a really fun removable decal for my laptop, and I also made these extremely aesthetically pleasing labels for my drawers in my bathroom. Probably one of my favorites. I don't know, I can't decide. Some projects that I really want to do with my Cricut that I haven't gotten around to yet is making a bunch of mini labels for everything in my pantry. I also think it would be really fun to make some custom graphics to put on my candles so that they match my aesthetics out of vinyl. And Cricuts can cut a thin wood, so I'm really interested in potentially making a light fixture with really fun, unique designs. I'm actually going to show you guys a brand new project with my Cricut today, and I came up with it in my brain and I'm really excited about it. Basically, I'm just going to use their whiteboard vinyl that they have, which is so cool, and I'm going to make whiteboards that go on our desks in really fun shapes, so that way we can save paper and we can write to-do lists, and it's going to be really cool. So let's go ahead and get into the DIYs. So to make this DIY, I started by creating my own custom design for my side and for Dylan's side as well, and then I uploaded them into my Cricut design space. I loaded the vinyl onto my mat and put it into the Cricut and then sent my design to print in the design space. It really is that simple to use, and it's so fun to watch it cut the material. Once it was done, I weeded away any excess, and then I used some transfer tape and my squeegee to move the design from my mat to our desk. This design is so much fun because you can make any shape you want and have a DIY whiteboard on any surface at all. It will help you save paper with to-do lists, and you can also doodle on it if you have long lecture classes. I like to leave Dylan some fun notes. And my favorite part about it is that it doesn't take up any extra space because it's flat on your desk. So if you need to put anything on top of it, you totally can. Okay, so I want to do a quick little walkthrough of the office and show you guys all of the different projects that we've done in here. Some of these projects we did previously on either Instagram or TikTok, so you might not have seen them. So I just want to make sure you guys get all of the tips and tricks. First off, these are all of the different frames that I have for the gallery wall. I've been collecting these for like months now. Some of them are from stores, some of them are thrifted, some of them are upcycled that I previously had, but they're basically all gonna go on this massive wall right here, so stay tuned for that. I'm actually about to make the gallery wall right now, so that's why there's a bunch of supplies out, but I will go through that later. But as far as DIY projects go, this was one of my favorite DIY projects that we did. We really needed some overhead lighting in here, so I ordered some remote control LEDs and I put them into a mixing bowl. And basically it just turns on and off, and it doesn't look that bright right now because it's daylight, but it's very helpful at nighttime. Of course, this whole green faux wainscoting around the room is something that I did in my last video if you want to see how we did that. And this wall right here, we used 3 inexpensive desks in a row to make one long one, and we wanted some separation, so we made this little DIY with paint. If you're not allowed to use paint in your apartment, you could always use a peel and stick wallpaper and get the same exact results if you cut it into shapes. But I just love the uniqueness of the shapes, and it gives us our own little areas in the office and makes it feel like it's really made for 2 people. So this laptop stand I had, and it was just black and kind of boring. So I actually got some plywood from the hardware store, and I just stained it, sealed it, and then we glued it on top. And I really love how it turned out. It makes it a lot more homey. It also helps to bring in some more wood tones in the desk area because we don't have that much in here, but we really want to warm up the space. This isn't necessarily a DIY, but look, I have these flooring samples. These are actually terrazzo flooring samples, and I use them as coasters, so I totally recommend that. These are just some more terrazzo samples that I have as coasters. I just think it's really fun, and they're also kind of big, so it's nice. I recommend putting these little stoppers on the bottom just so they don't scratch your surfaces. I also have these little drawers, which I'll put the brand names of in the description, but it's really nice because I can just store away all of my little desk supplies. This was a really fun DIY that I made with my Cricut. I made one for Dylan as well, and I have a whole video about it. But basically, it's just a removable vinyl that you can put on your walls, and I put it over our desks so it looks like we're thinking when we're working at our desks, and I think it's really cute. And then I have a few of these laying around all over my apartment, but they're just these bended candles. I made a tutorial for these on my TikTok, but basically they're just really fun. You can bend the candles in any way that you want, and they make really fun decor pieces. Okay, so I am about to start my gallery wall, and I wanted to show you guys some of the prints that I have for my gallery wall so you guys can know what's up. This is actually the first print that I had for this office, and I've been waiting to hang this up. This is a painting of Pip, and it is the cutest thing in the entire world. But I ordered this from one of my TikTok friends. Her name is Sarah, and she has a small business. I'll put that in the description. These are some more really fun prints that I ordered from one of my TikTok friends. Her name is Ellie, and she has a small business. But like, seriously, I mean, come on, these are so cute. Like, these are also so adorable. These were actually a gift, which is so nice. They're from Angela from House and Hughes, and Dylan is just obsessed with these because they're just nature themed and they're colorful, which I love. So then I just ordered some random ones off of Etsy. So this is a really fun architectural drawing of columns that I'm a nerd and I'm gonna embrace it. This one also, this little Picasso poster, I had to. I'm still in my middle school phase when it comes to Vampire Weekend. I don't think I'll ever get over them. I got some really fun, just miscellaneous random prints that are just really fun graphics from this app called FY. They're so fun. And last but not least, I got a few different FedEx prints of photos that I have that I enjoy of me and Dylan. I also printed this because it's my favorite band ever. So that's just kind of an overview of the majority of the prints that I'm using so you guys can know where I got them from. And I think they're really fun. I think it's going to be really colorful, perfect for Zoom backgrounds. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, so I now have all of the different prints lined up with a frame that fits it. That took forever, but now I just have to frame them all. The majority of the frames that I'm using I actually thrifted and then painted them all to be the same color. This just helps with cost efficiency first off because frames are literally so expensive, but it also just helps to add some character because frames that you get at the thrift store are going to be a lot more unique and have more textures and patterns. Most of the frames, if not all of them, do not have a matting in them, so I just got a big pack of poster paper and I'm going to use these to cut out my own. Okay, so to make your own matting for a thrifted picture frame that didn't have one, I am just taking the back of the picture frame and also a white poster board, and I'm just going to cut it out to be the size of the backing. Alright, so now I am taking the print that I want to be in this frame, and I'm just centering it to where I want it, and then I'm just going to trace the outline of it all the way around. And then on all of the sides, you're just going to want to pull it in a little bit and retrace so that there's a little bit of overlap over your print when you frame it. And then you can actually use the back of the frame itself as a straight edge when you go to cut out the hole. And then you can take it out and you have your matting. And then you can just take your print and put it face down so that way you don't have to erase any of the pencil marks. and just line it up with your original outline. And then you can just take some pieces of tape and tape off the edges. And then you just put it into the frame and add the backing in, and then you're just gonna have to flatten all of the staples that are on the side once you get it in there. And this is the finished result. This frame was about $8, definitely a steal. So I took the measurements of the wall and also the picture frames, and I made a layout of where they're all going to go in Revit. This will just help to make the process a lot faster and not waste as many command strips. If you don't have any sort of modeling software that you could plan things out with, you can also just use brown paper on the wall. It works just as good. But basically, my tips for gallery walls, if you're trying to get a good layout, is to make sure that the bigger frames are towards the center more as opposed to keeping them on the outside, and also try to keep frames that are the same or the same shape away from each other. I made an example of what a gallery wall would look like if you put all of the bigger frames on the outside, and as you can see, it doesn't really look good. I also put all of the frames that look the same next to each other, and like I said, just not a good look. So basically, we can just use the measurements from this diagram to know where we need to put all of the different frames, and it's going to be a lot faster. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and got some ideas for your own space. I'm so proud of some of the DIYs in this room. If you guys are not yet subscribed, make sure to do so, and also like this video if you like this kind of content. That way I know what you guys want to see, and also comment down below what your favorite DIY was from this video. Thank you so much again to Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and thank you so much to all of you for being here with me. I'll see you guys all next Sunday for a brand new video. Bye guys!